students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I am streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you had a great week, and I hope your weekend is off to a fantastic start, students. In this class, everybody, we are looking at an IELTS reading passage. This reading is coming from our academic IELTS exams, but it certainly is valuable for general IELTS students. General IELTS section 3 of your reading is very similar, or we could say maybe the same as the academic in both the general IELTS reading section 3, and for the academic it's the entire reading. You have a reading passage that's about 700 to 800 words long on some kind of an interesting topic. Today we are going to be looking at reading about some kind of a special island, and you're going to discover this island shortly here. These materials are coming from our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These websites are the companions to our live classes, and we will be using aehelp.com. It's this website today. So click that big red button to join our premium IELTS package. We will use this website in just a few moments for practicing the reading, and then also interacting with our students as we did last class in the speaking class. We are an official IDP affiliate, British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. So you are in excellent hands with us. This is a this is a subscribers chat class, everybody. This class, you can join the chat if you are a subscriber. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can join the chat. And then again, make sure to sign up for our websites so that you can have all the materials for these live classes. And for general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. You can click this big red button there. Fuang, Yani, Domenico, Chen, good to see you. Good to see our members. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Vien Nok, yes, I can see your message. If you have questions, just ask me, Vien Nok. Yavidan, Harry Jot, Lando, good to see you all in the class with me here, ready to learn. That is fantastic. And many of you were in the last class too, which is awesome. Students, again, just reminding you that you can still use this discount code MARK9 for a 10% discount on the websites. And of course, you can also follow us on Instagram, IELTS_ahelp, gieltshelp. And if you have questions, send me an email to admin@aehelp.com or adrian@aehelp.com. That's my name, or admin@aehelp.com, and we'll help you out. So just send us an email if you have questions about IELTS, questions about English, or some other questions. Just let me know. All right, students. We've got task 2, speaking part 3 tomorrow, and on Sunday we have the Light Hall class. Check those out. Light Hall is a full speaking interview for IELTS with video audio chat. So check that out. I put the link in the chat, and also a link for one of our latest, coolest videos. There you go. Put that in the chat for you as well. Yeah, Apna is saying, can you provide us the PDF of the reading? Yeah, that's on the website. Apna, you can see that on the website. So, okay, let's go to the reading. Here it is. This is what we're looking at today. Reading passage 1, Tristan da Cunha, an island of remote curiosity. Okay. Some of you might have heard about Tristan da Cunha. Some of you might not have. Not a big problem. That's okay if you have or if you haven't. It's totally fine. It's an island somewhere. We will probably find out where. What does this mean? An island of remote curiosity. What do you think the word remote means? So when you read the title in your IELTS, you have to think a little bit. You have to think, okay, what does this mean? Why is this the title? What information do I get from this title? Yanni says it's rural. Yanni, you can send whatever IELTS question you have or you would like. Jen says it's a rural area. Rocky says it's situated far from a city. Yeah, there's another word for remote. It starts with an I. So here's a good tip or a good trick for your IELTS reading strategies, okay? So first, read the title. Think of synonyms. Synonyms means words that have the same meaning but are different. So think of synonyms for words in the title. So here in the title we have an island of remote curiosity, right? So when I'm sitting the IELTS and I see this title, Island of Remote Curiosity, I would think of remote. Okay? And I think, what's another way to say remote? Yanni says isolated. Yeah. What's the definition? Far away from a large population. Okay? So it's far away from a large population. Hi, Eugen. Good to see your emojis. I'm doing well. Domenico, very good. Secluded is a good word. Secluded. So isolated, secluded island. Very good. Distant is a good one too, Lando. So all of those are good. Remote. Isolated, secluded, distant, good. There's a reason why the author is using the title remote something. And then curiosity. That would be another word. What's a way to say curiosity? What's another way to say curiosity? Okay. So think of a synonym for curiosity. Yes, AM1 Gamers, I have taken the official IELTS exam. I've also examined it. I've also written the IELTS exam. So I've done every part of IELTS that you can possibly imagine, Gamers. So yeah, curiosity, Chen, wonder, yes. So being curious is to wonder. It's interesting. These are just regular nouns, so let's make them small letter. Curiosity, wonder, interest. Yeah, okay. So then you might get to the question, why is an island that is far away from other people interesting? So you might get to that question eventually by looking at the title, thinking about the words. So again, you're in the IELTS reading and this is happening quickly. Your brain is working a mile a minute. It means that your brain is making computations and calculations very quickly. You're sitting in the IELTS, you're calm, you're focused, you go, okay, Tristan da Cunha, that's a foreign word, Latin-based, it's a name. It's an island of remote curiosity. Okay, remote means isolated, distant, far from people. Curiosity means it's interesting, it's exciting. So why would an island that's far away from people be interesting and exciting? Okay. Why do you think that? What do you think? Cameras, no, I did not take an IELTS exam on the 29th of September. Why do you think? Why would that be interesting? What's going on? Chen says, because we are curious what is on the island. Yeah. So if you think of an island, right? The flora, the plants, the fauna, the animals, the geography, the land, and the people on the island. We have people living everywhere these days, and the people on the island are interesting, right? Why could that be? Well, we're going to discover that, but again, when you are doing the IELTS reading, you want to predict, and to predict well, you want to read the title, think of other ways to say the keywords in the title, and then think about what, why, how. So use that critical or that logical thinking. Yanni says, because it's still undeveloped. Yeah, very much possibly there. Yanni, good. Okay. So let's take a look at the questions. Okay. So reading passage 1 has 7 paragraphs. So we looked at the title, we look at the questions. In the computer-based or the paper-based IELTS exam, it's a good idea to look at the questions before you read the passage. But, it's a big but, you have to pay attention. Only read question information that is in the passage. Don't read question information that's not in the passage. So do not read true, false, not given. Do not read multiple choice answer selections or choices before you read the passage. Whenever you read information that's false or not in the passage, like true, false, not given, or wrong, multiple choice, you're just wasting your time. There's no point to do that. Plus, you're confusing yourself, okay? So let's do this one. Let's read this one together, okay? Now, this is reading, everybody, so make sure to read with me. Okay? So I want you to read with me. Aloud, if you can, so you can hear yourself. It's very important to hear yourself reading so that you're using your mouth, your tongue, your eyes, your ears. It's called multi-sensory integration. It's much more effective for learning. So use a combination of the senses to really learn effectively. All right, let's look at this question. Which paragraph contains the following information? Write the correct letter in boxes 1 to 5 on your answer sheet. It's paper-based, right? In the computer-based, all you have to do is write the paragraph in the box beside the sentence. Okay, question, students. Should I read all of these choices? Will all of this information be somewhere in the passage? So should I read this question before the passage? Is it a good idea? Yanni says no. Anybody else? So should I read this question before I read the passage? What do you think? Messi, hi. Harry Jod says no. Sedvik says yes. Zoraida says yes. Happy English says yes. Yes, I should. This is all in the passage, right? So, yes. All of this information is paraphrased somewhere in the passage, so it will give me useful information. Okay? And careful, when I say paraphrased, it means that not every single word is going to be the same. So should I read this question before the passage? The answer is yes. So all 5 of these are somewhere in the passage. It says, which paragraph contains the following information? So we know that the information is contained in the passage. Is it a good idea to skim read or scan for this information? Okay. Should I skim or scan for this information? To be faster and more accurate. So should I try to skim read for money used on the island? For example, Lando says yes. Happy English says both. Romelia says it's not about the gist, it's details. A lot of you are saying nope. Sudvik says you need to read the passage. Domenico says it's such a massive waste of time trying to skim and scan. Yeah, so no. The answer is no, right? I have no idea where these are coming from, right? So definitely not. No. Okay. I have no idea where they are. I might skim the whole passage to realize the answer is at the end. And then I have to start again for the next one. So just imagine if this first piece of information, the different types of money used on the island, comes from the end of the passage, and I'm skim reading the whole passage before I'm like, oh, there it is. And then I'm like, oh, it's paragraph F or G. And then I'm like, okay, exam results. Let's start from the beginning again. Back to the top. Skim reading again. Oh, it's almost near the end again. Did I just skim read the whole passage twice for the first 2 questions? Ooh, I hope that doesn't happen for the third one. So huge waste of time, right? And Yanni says it would be confusing too. Yeah, exactly. Chen's like, meh, meh, meh. Good, yeah. Skimming, scanning, students, only works sometimes, and for some questions, it is not your main strategy. I know some people who watch this channel regularly are probably tired of me saying that, but it's the truth. And there's still so many people who learn that, oh, just skim read for keywords. That'll work. No, it won't. They paraphrase keywords and you end up reading the passage 10 times anyway. Just skim reading for keywords is silly. At least read the passage once, even if you do it quickly, not just skim reading it, but reading it so you understand it. Okay, students, so here we have the questions. Let's read it together, okay? The different types of money used on the island. What's another way to say money? You should always think about how to paraphrase keywords, okay? Now, you should paraphrase the whole statement, but at least the key words. So, money. What's another way to say money? I'm glad some of you found that comedic or funny. Yanni, penny is a type of money. Cash is slang, Domenico. Zoraida, I like it. Currency. Yep. So money, currency. It's a good way. Exam results. What's another way to say exam results? So at least think about the keywords and try to paraphrase them. Exam results. So those of you who said currency, currency is good for money. Cash is okay too. Currency is the better one. Grades is okay, Sudvik. We want to be more specific. Remarked Shushanta is not good. Final grades are right is not accurate. What's another way to say exam? So always do this at home, this kind of practice. Test scores, right? That's the more accurate. Your paraphrasing, students, needs to be accurate. Okay, everybody got that? I'm going to write that down for you because it's very important, okay? Paraphrasing, so practicing paraphrasing is the key to good communication and getting good scores on your IELTS exam. Okay. Here's a tip. You must paraphrase or practice paraphrasing accurately. Not just kind of the same word or similar, but find the best. Okay. For example, exam results equals test scores, not just grades. Grades does not accurately paraphrase exam results. Test scores does. And I can see Chen and a couple other people preempting me and being like, yeah, thumbs up. No, I get that, okay? All right? So think about that, all right? Think about that, okay? Grades, academic performance, Ustad, is just kind of a general paraphrase, all right? Everybody got that? So exam results equals test scores, all right? Accurate paraphrasing is the trick, the one biggest trick or key to high scores, all right? Okay. Discussion of the original inhabitants of the island. Original inhabitants. How can you paraphrase that? Okay. How can you say original inhabitants in another way? And pay attention to being accurate this time. Okay, somebody says indigenous people. Very good, Sunny. That's a great one. The indigenous people, the natives, yeah, of the island. Very good. Those are good ones, all right? Now you're coming up with some. Local people is okay. Local residents, I like it. Okay, local is not enough. Dwellers, Ustad, is not enough. A dweller could be anybody. Doesn't have to be the original inhabitant. You can be a brand new person to the island and you're a dweller if you live there. So dweller, no. But these ones are good. Indigenous people, natives, local residents. Okay. Those are good. All right. So the island is an armed forces outpost. What's a good paraphrase for armed forces? Anybody? Aboriginal tribes, Daisy, maybe. It's a little bit different. Tribals, Creative Edge, a little bit different. Very good, Lando. Military. Your armed forces is your military. Okay. Very good. Geography. How can we say geography in another way? Okay. What's another way to say geography? Landscape is okay. Terrain is okay. Yep. Okay, those are good. Nice. Landscape, terrain, geography. Very good. All right. This one, multiple choice. Match following places with facts about them. St. Helena, Tristan da Cunha, United Kingdom, Portugal. All right, all of this information is in the passage, so it's good to read. Took political control of the island in the 19th century. Okay, 19th century means 18 to 1900s. Uses its own currency, so has its own money system. Home to Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. Origin of the name Tristan da Cunha. Islanders had to be evacuated here after natural disaster and discovered the island. All right, and then we've got a couple more. It's a complete each sentence with the correct ending. The endings, we don't read them because they are confusing, okay? But the choices, they're in the passage, they're clear. Keep reading with me, students, because the number of people that move permanently to the island is so small. Due to its remoteness, the dialect of Tristanians is. All right, again, lots of paraphrasing there, but for now, we want to get to the passage. Students, we're going to read this passage together, nice and loud, with a British speaker. So let's do this. We provide a read-along for all of our passages in our materials. This passage specifically for everybody who has access to our premium IELTS learning package. It's reading audio CD3 track 5. Okay, so all you do is you go to the website and you log into your My Student account and you go to your IELTS audio CDs and you go to CD3 track 5. I'm going to play this. Read nice and loud with the reader. Okay, here we go.
Tristan da Cunha, an island of remote curiosity. Tristan da Cunha is an island in the South Pacific Ocean, formed by volcanic activity and part of the British Overseas Territory, called St. Helena, Ascension and Tristan da Cunha. Tristan da Cunha is generally considered to be the most remote inhabited place on Earth. Because of its extreme isolation and small population, Tristan da Cunha is a fascinating experiment in sociology and genetics. The island was first discovered in 1506 by a Portuguese explorer named Tristão da Cunha, who named the island after himself. The name of the island was later anglicised by the inhabitants into Tristan da Cunha. In 1816, the United Kingdom annexed the island, taking control of it. They used it as a marine military base for a number of decades in the 19th century, before it fell into disuse after the construction of the Suez Canal. The Second World War, however, brought renewed purpose to the island. It was used as a top-secret British naval station, codenamed HMS Atlantic Isle. The purpose of the station was to monitor the waters for German U-boats.
So that's what I want you to do. Read like this.
According to a recent census, the island has a population of just 263 people, who mainly reside in the settlement known as Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. It is thought that the residents of the island descend from just 15 ancestors, of which 8 were male and 7 were female. Because the reproduction pool is so small, the residents of the island suffer from a number of medical disorders. There is rampant asthma on the island, which is thought to be a result of the known fact that 3 of the original founders of the island suffered from asthma. Based on the endemic asthma afflicting inhabitants of the island today, it is thought that there is a genetic underpinning for the condition. Further evidence comes from islanders commonly suffering from glaucoma, a degenerative eye condition which, left untreated, can result in blindness. There are just 8 surnames among the 263 residents of Tristan da Cunha, corresponding roughly to the 8 original male ancestors. Since there is almost no emigration to the island, the surnames are kept intact for many generations. Education on the island is very limited. Children only attend school until the age of 15, with the option of taking the British Standardised Test for secondary school graduates once they have completed schooling. As a consequence of the low quality of education, standardised test scores are generally very poor. Another indication of the island's remoteness and relative lack of contact with the outside world is that the English spoken amongst its natives is very different from that spoken of the rest of the world. Arguably, one of the most interesting facts about Tristan da Cunha was that until the aftermath of the Second World War, the only currency in place was the potato. For example, the newspaper, the Tristan Times, could be purchased for 4 big potatoes. Today, Tristan da Cunha uses the British pound as its currency, which is odd because neighbouring St Helena, 2,173 kilometres away, of which Tristan da Cunha shares its status as a British overseas territory, uses the St Helena pound and not the British pound. Since Tristan da Cunha was formed by volcanic activity, and the volcano which formed it is still active, the inhabitants of the island live in constant danger of volcanic eruption. The last such eruption occurred as recently as 1961, when all of the islanders had to be evacuated to England. While some communities around the world participate in fire, earthquake or tornado drills, the residents of Tristan da Cunha participate in evacuation drills, where they practice the protocol for evacuation of the island in case of volcanic eruption. The Tristan economy is built mainly upon farming. All land is owned by the community. That is to say, there is no individual land ownership. Another significant part of the economy is the exportation of crayfish and lobster, mainly to Japan and the United States. A fire that occurred in 2008 greatly affected both the domestic and export economies. Tristanians are fiercely proud and independent people. Even when given the choice to stay in England after exile due to the volcanic eruption, almost every resident returned to the island.
All right, everybody, make sure to use that audio reading on the websites, okay? Because it's very, very useful, and it helps you to improve your fluency, your pronunciation, your lexical resource. So doing that kind of read-along and audio read-along on the website is an extremely good idea. You don't have audio in the real IELTS exam, but you do have it on our website for learning. So make sure to use it for learning, okay? All right. So one of the most important skills for good reading, so that you remember what you read and where you read it, is visualization, okay? It is critical that you visualize what you read, okay? So you need to see it, okay? You need to see what you read. How many of you actually saw this information, so visually pictured this island and what was happening on this island according to this author? Okay, so, and be honest, if you saw it, if you were visualizing it, if you saw pictures, it doesn't just mean I heard it and I'll tell you this and I'll tell you that about it, but actual pictures and images. So how many of you actually saw the information? You can write me like an I did, or yep, thumbs up, or use my thumbs if you're a member, as Chen is doing. Harry John says, I see it in my mind. Okay, good. So, of course, a good question is, what do you see? What is important for good visualization? So, what is very important to do, and I've taught many of you this before, so hopefully you will remember. Dhruvraj says, I saw chaos. Okay. Fuang says, education is limited on the island. How do you see that? Okay, Simrat says, yeah. So, how do you, Mohini says, please say my name, Pihu. Okay. What is very important for good visualization? So when you're seeing information, what should you do? What is super important to do? Surendra says imagination, kind of. There's one very, very important. There's a few different pieces to good visualization, but one piece above all is very important. Okay. Sani says, be a writer. Blessing says, okay, Roshni, very good. Roshni says, feel as if you are there. Yeah, include yourself. So include yourself. Become a part of what you read. Okay? So how many of you actually did that? How many of you became a part of the story? So in this case, who could you have been? Who could you be in this example of Tristan da Cunha? Might be da Cunha. So who can you be in this reading of Tristan da Cunha? Okay. Rocky says the natives. You can't be the natives, Rocky, because you can only be one. Chen says native people of the island. If Tikra says the main character, who's the main character? You need to be more specific. So you could be the chief. You are the chief of the Tristanian people. Okay. All right. Fong says I could be the founder of the island. You can be Tristan da Cunha himself, the explorer. Yes. The Capitan, the explorer. Okay. So you can be definitely a few different people, but you need to pick and become. You can be a scientist exploring the island. Okay, but be only one and stick with it, okay? So you could be the chief of the people on Tristan da Cunha. You could be the captain, Tristan da Cunha, who discovers the island. You could be the sociologist, the scientist, exploring the island. It's still Tristanian. Okay, so you could be any one of those people. Just make sure to stick with it, okay? All right? So let's do this. Let's do the reading together. I'm going to take volunteers for reading. Like in the last class, you log into the website. So again, you can buy the premium version, click on the red button on the home page, or you can try it for free. And then I'm going to take some reading volunteers. So click on this student partner speaking button in your My Student account, like that's right there above my head, and I'm going to get you to read, and then when you read, we will get into discussing what you read and how you can best understand the information. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's go to student partner speaking, and when you're in here, you can send me chat communication. Say I want to volunteer, or I would like to read. My handle is Master, so look for Master. Okay. Let's see if anybody has volunteered for reading. Dhruvraj just volunteered for reading. That's fantastic. I see Kartik, Dalwinder, and lots more in here. Vienne, we haven't heard from you today, so let's see if Vienne. Yes, Vienne. Let's see if Vienne is ready, and then we'll work through the reading and the questions together, and I will give you some feedback on what you're doing well and where you can improve, okay? All right. All right. You are ready. Here we go, Vienne. Hello, Vienne. I hear that you picked up. I don't hear your voice. Make sure that you're using a computer if possible. I can't hear you, Vienne, and you have to make sure that your microphone is enabled on the website. You have a good internet connection. You're not using a VPN through China or something like that. So I can't hear you. You have to troubleshoot and check with somebody else that's in here, okay? All right. Let's take Domenico. Domenico, are you ready? To read. One of our members. Okay, Domenico. Let's try to reach out to you. Okay, so the website where we're doing this, everyone, is ahelp.com. I just put it into the chat. Domenico, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
How are you doing? I can. How are you today?
I'm awesome. I've just had a quick snack. Well, I was feeling a little of this. I was craving for a sweet. I was craving a sweet, so I satisfied my sweet tooth.
Okay. Awesome, Domenico. So Domenico, can you tell everybody where you are from, where you are in the world? It's always, I think, interesting.
I'm actually calling from Italy, the southern part of my country. I'm living in Sicily. I'm presently based in Sicily.
Okay.
It's a small coastal town.
Very famous around the world, yes. Okay, so Domenico, let's do a bit of reading here. So
sure.
Read the title and the introductory paragraph for us nice and loud. You should be able to see it on the screen in just a moment. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
Yeah, all right. So, an island of remote curiosity. Tristan da Cunha is an island in the South Pacific Ocean, formed by volcanic activity and part of the British Overseas Territory called St. Helena, Ascension, and Tristan da Cunha. Tristan da Cunha is generally considered to be the most remote inhabited place on Earth. Because of its extreme isolation and its small population, Tristan da Cunha is a fascinating experiment in sociology and genetics.
Fantastic. Now, Domenico, when you read this paragraph, what do you see? How do you visualize this?
So, as a scientist and as an explorer, I can conjure up the image of a remote place, of a geographically remote place, and isolate a geographically remote place, and a small population with a small population, and the island. On top of that, the island has undeveloped facilities for the population.
Okay.
So this is what I can.
All right.
I can.
It's so the trick. So let me help you a little bit here, Domenico. Your reading is pretty good, by the way. So you're reading well, and your speed is good. When you visualize, what you can do a little bit better is to keep it simpler. So you said that you're a scientist and an explorer. Just keep it simple. You're a scientist, okay? Not and an explorer. You're the scientist on the island, okay? And I'm kind of drawing this picture in the background here while you're saying that. So there you are, the scientist, and you're on this little island, okay? So here's that little island, and there's not very many people. There's some people here, okay, but not very many.
Yeah.
All right, you don't see very many.
Just a handful of people.
Yeah. So you're doing a bit of research, and you're doing research in genetics. So maybe you see the double helix, right? For DNA, it's very popular, that spinning, twisting double helix, and sociology. So the way that people interact and talk with each other. These are speech balloons of them talking to each other. So there you are. There is Domenico from Sicily, the world famous geneticist and sociologist, talking to the people of Tristan da Cunha and figuring out who is who and what is what. Okay, that's what you should see. That's what you should see. So simplify your visualization, because the concept of, or the power of good visualization when you're reading, is that you're remembering the key information and condensing it down. You know, Domenico, you ever hear the saying in English, a picture is worth 1,000 words? You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So having a simple, accurate, beautiful picture, image, or little video of what you're reading going on inside of your head is way easier to remember than words. What happens a lot of times, and Domenico, in this discussion, I'm not just telling you this, I'm telling all the viewers this here. A lot of people, they focus on remembering the words like a verbal story, like a story of words, and then they forget like what they read and where they read it and what was the information, because it's really hard to remember 700-800 words, right? Do you agree with me on that? Like, to remember 800 words, it's pretty tough.
I do agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. You need to envisage an image of what you are reading, or what you. For example, when I read, currently I'm reading a crime novel, and every time I get to read a chapter, I visualize what I read.
Exactly, because pictures work for us. So humans are very visual, right? Reading, the world of literacy, that's secondary evolution for us humans. So the ability to read and to record information through reading came much later for us in our evolution as humans, right? Visualization, so seeing the world around us, came very early in our human existence, right? So of course our vision of pictures and videos is much more powerful and interesting than our vision of words alone, right? So when we look at a painting at our friend's house, or we see a video or a Netflix movie, we tend to remember it for short term anyway. Sometimes I forget them the next day if it's not a good movie, but short term, right? For the next 10 minutes, I definitely remember them very well, right?
If the movie is a bit of a letdown, you forget it quickly.
Yeah, exactly. But so our brain just holds visual information a lot better. So that's why we want to do that. Okay, Domenico, thank you for being my first reader right now, and keep it up. I see you've got something going on with Daisy Lee there in the chat, so that's nice. Just keep it academic. And then we'll hear from you again soon. Okay, Domenico?
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, bye for now. All right, that was Domenico. Let's take another volunteer here. Let's see, who can we find here to volunteer for a little bit of reading that we might not have heard from in the past? How about Chinello? That seems like a new handle for me. Okay, Chinello sing. My first time, I want to try. Are you ready? Okay, and we're going to move along a little bit fast, a little bit nicer, just so we can get to those questions and really get along and show you how to read quickly, effectively, answer questions well, be confident in your answers for the reading, and get a high band score on the IELTS exam. Okay. All right. So, Chinello, if you're still there, here's your chance to shine. And don't worry, I will help you. I will guide you. So if you're still here, let me know. And off you go. No. Yes. Oh, there's Chinello. Last second. I was just about to give up. All right, Chinello, I hear that you've picked up. Are you there? Can you hear me okay? Chinello? Oh, yeah, I can hear something, Chinello. Can you turn up your mic or get a little bit closer to your microphone? Speak a bit louder.
Okay. Is it clear now?
It's clear. You're just a little bit quiet.
Okay. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, this is pretty good, for sure.
Okay.
I think so. Absolutely. All right. First question. How do I pronounce your name?
Chinello.
Chinello. Okay.
Yes.
Chinello, where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
From Nigeria. Awesome. And
Yeah,
Chinello,
but presently I'm in the Philippines.
presently in the Philippines. So you're originally from Nigeria, but now you're in the Philippines. And why are you doing the IELTS exam?
Yeah, I'm doing the IELTS exam because I need it for my immigration. I want to forward my master's degree in Canada.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm here. I can help you with that. We'll do a little bit of reading. So whenever you're ready, please read paragraph B.
Okay.
So, Chinello, if you're still there, here's your chance to shine. Don't worry, I will help you.
Yes.
Still here, let me know.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep, go from the island. Try to mute YouTube, Chinello. So listen to just me through the website, not through YouTube, okay? And whenever you're ready, go ahead and read from the island.
Okay. So, the island was first discovered in 1506 by the Portuguese Oh my God. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You're working. You're clear. So keep going. Portuguese explorer named Tristão. Just mute YouTube. Click the little speaker on YouTube, and then YouTube will be muted so we don't hear the extra audio. Okay?
Okay, okay, okay. Now I get it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, yeah. So the island was first discovered in 1506 by a Portuguese explorer named Tristio da Cunha, who named the first island after himself. The name of the island was later anglicized by the inhabitants into Tristan da Cunha. In 1816, the United Kingdom annexed the island, taking control of it. They used it as a marine military base for a number of decades in the 19th century before it fell into disuse after the construction of the Suez Canal. The Second World War, however, brought renewed purpose to the island. It was used as a top secret British naval station, codenamed HMS Atlantic Eyes. The purpose of the station was to monitor the water for German U-boats.
Okay, so what do you see after you read this paragraph? So who are you on this island?
Yeah, I'm the one who discovered the island.
Okay, so you're Captain Tristão da Cunha. Okay.
Yes.
And what do you see as Captain Tristão da Cunha?
Um, I see how the island was named and how how the inhabitants of the island came um into the picture to claim the possession of their own land, and also how the United Kingdom annexed the island and taking control of it all, and how the island was constructed.
Okay, so lots of information there, right? So we need to simplify it. So here, when you're picturing this, when you're visualizing this, and I think being Tristão da Cunha, so the explorer, is a good idea. So here you are with your explorer's hat going on. Okay, there you are. And you're exploring the island. Okay, so you want to picture that, you want to see it. And what you want to maybe see, because it sounded like a little bit like you're just recalling the words that you're reading, is that you have the German military. So you have these military people, and they take control of this island and they use it for military purposes. Okay. So you can see that happening, and you don't need to overcomplicate it beyond that. All right, read paragraph C for us. So one more. Whenever
Okay.
you're ready, starting from according to. By the way, your reading is very pleasant. You're reading very well. So visualize and simplify your visualization a little bit. Keep going whenever you're ready.
Okay. According to a recent census, the island has a population of just 263 people who mainly reside in the settlement known as Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. It is thought that the residents of the island descend from just 15 ancestors, of which of which 8 were male and 7 were females. Because the reproduction pool is so small, the residents of the island suffer from a number of medical disorders. There is a rampant asthma on the island, which is thought to be a result of the known fact that there that the that sorry which is thought to be a result of the known fact that 3 of the original founders of the island suffered from asthma. Based on the endemic asthma afflicting inhabitants of the island today, it is thought that there is a genetic underpinning for the condition. Further evidence comes from islanders commonly suffering from glaucoma, a degenerative eye condition which left untreated can result in blindness.
Okay, good. All right. So, when you're visualizing this paragraph, what do you see?
Okay. Um, um, I see that there is a problem in the island regarding the health conditions of the inhabitants.
And who are you on the island?
Mm, I am one of the residents, the settlements in
Okay.
the island.
A quick tip, and this is a tip for everybody, you shouldn't change who you are when you start visualizing. So you should stay one consistent person throughout the reading, okay? So in the last paragraph, you said that you are Tristão da Cunha, the person who discovered the island, okay? So
Okay.
what you want to do is you want to stay that person. So you're still this explorer with the explorer's hat on, okay? That is first discovering the island. So you should see the family tree, right? So you should see that there are 8 men and 7 women who were the first people on the island. Maybe they were your friends who came on your boat, okay? And now they have a whole bunch of children, all right, these people. So you see the family tree that extends out. But a lot of them have eye problems and asthma problems. So they're coughing like that, okay? I know my drawing's a bit crazy. Maybe some people can make sense of it, some people can't. Can you understand my drawing a little bit? I'm trying to represent the visualization a little bit. Is it working?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. Right. But that's how I see it. So I'm the explorer, and I'm a little bit worried. Maybe from my boat, 8 men, 7 women decided to stay on this island because it's very beautiful. But they had some eye problems and they had some asthma problems, and now all their kids have these problems as well, right? So that's what you want to see. The important advice here is be the same person, be the same subject throughout the reading, and that way you don't lose the information. You know where it is and how it's connected. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay.
it does.
All right, so keep practicing that, and when you make some mistakes with words that you're reading, don't worry about it in the real exam. Just keep reading, okay? Don't keep going back, all right?
Okay.
Okay, Chinello, thank you so much for being my volunteer and for helping me out with that a little bit. Have a lovely day. Stay around, listen to the other volunteers and the answers to the questions, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye for now. All right, that was Chinello. She's awesome. All right, Chen, let's see if you're there and you're ready. Chen, are you ready? We don't really hear from Chen too much. Are you ready, Chen? Yes, absolutely. Chen, if you'd like to read. Okay, we'd love to have you. Okay. Chen's one of our kind of newer members. I think Chen's been around for a couple months now, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Chen will correct me if we're able to connect. So Chen, if you're there, let me know. And yeah, I guess. Okay. All right. Okay, Chen, focus on the phone call. I see that you're still in the chat as well. So one focus at a time. All right. Chen, it sounds like you picked up. Are you there? Can you hear me? Everybody, make sure you figure out your microphone situation before you volunteer and pick up. Check your internet with others. Jen, are you there? I can't hear you. Chen, check your setup. I can see that you're in conversation with Yanni, so maybe reach out to Yanni and see if you can connect with Yanni. And if not, then in the text messages, you can maybe figure out what kind of OS you're using, what kind of device you're using, internet connection. And then maybe Yanni, you can help Chen figure it out. Then Chen, come back and volunteer again, okay? Until then, let's try somebody else. Vienne, are you ready? I don't think we've heard from you today, Vienne. Let's see if you're here and you're ready, and then we'll go from there. We've got about 30 minutes to do the rest of the reading and answer the questions, which is lots of time. Chen, by the way, if you really get stuck, you can also send me an email, okay? Vienne, here we go. I'm calling you. Just pick up the call. Okay. Vienne, are you there? Can you hear me? I cannot hear you, Vienne. Once again, students, just a reminder, we love volunteers from everywhere. Ideally, you're using a laptop or a computer. You have a stable Wi-Fi or LAN connection. You are audio chatting and using YouTube internationally. So you can't do it on a weak data connection. So you need a good connection. You need a good microphone. So make sure you have a good setup or the right setup, okay? You can use mobile, so mobile's okay, but you need a good internet connection with good microphone. Okay. Sedgwick, are you ready? Let's see. Okay.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Sudvik. How are you? A voice, finally. Third time lucky, as they say.
How are you? A voice, finally. Third time lucky.
Sudvik, can you
Yes, sir.
mute YouTube?
Is it audible, sir?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I hear that you muted YouTube. That's great. Sudvik, are you ready to do a bit of reading?
Yeah, sir, I'm ready.
Awesome. Okay. Let's keep going with paragraph D. Go from D. There are just 8.
Okay, sir. There are just 8 surnames among the 263 residents of Tristan da Cunha, correspondingly roughly to the 8 original male ancestors, since there is almost no emigration to the island. The surnames are kept intact for many generations.
Keep going.
Education on the Iceland is very limited. Children only attend schools until the age of 15, with the option of taking the British standardized test for secondary school graduates once they have complete schooling. As a consequence of the low quality of education, standardized test scores are generally very poor. Another indication of the Iceland's remoteness and related lack of contact with the outside world is that the English spoken among its natives is very different from the spoken in the rest of the world.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. Arguably, one of the most interesting facts about Tristan da Cunha was that until the aftermath of the Second World War, the only currency in the place was the potato. For example, the newspaper, the Tristan Times, could be purchased for 4 big potatoes. Today, Tristan da Cunha uses the British pound as its currency, which is odd because neighboring Saint Helena, 2,173 kilometers away, of which Tristan da Cunha shares its status as a British overseas territory, uses the Saint Helena pound and not the British pound, since Tristan da Cunha was formed by the volcanic activity and the volcanic which formed it is still active. The inhabitants of Iceland live in the constant danger of volcanic eruption. The last such eruption occurred as recently as 1961 when all of the Icelanders had to evacuated to England while some communities So can you please
Yes, sorry, my bad. It's
scroll
coming.
up?
Yep. It's
Yeah,
coming.
okay, sir. No problem. Communities around the world participate in fire. Participate in fire. Earthquake or tornado drills. The residents of Tristan da Cunha participate in evacuation drills, where they practice the protocol of evacuation of the island in case of volcanic eruption.
Very nice. Okay, yeah, I was so caught up in your reading, I forgot to scroll with you. All right, so what do you see? What did you see when you read these 3 paragraphs?
So actually, I can remember that the English, the education is not good in the Thailand. So as their English is very poor when it's compared to the world, the English is very poor.
Okay.
Along with that, yes, sir, along with that, the currency was different. The currency was British currency, like pounds.
Okay. All right. Who were you during these 3 paragraphs?
Uh, no, sir. Unable to say that one.
Okay, so you should be somebody.
Okay.
You should be one of the
Okay.
island inhabitants. You should be the chief of the island. You should be
Yeah.
the explorer of the island. And it's really hard to accurately remember information when you don't
Yes.
become a part of it. You actually completely forgot paragraph D, which was there's only a few surnames on the
Yeah.
island.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
right?
That is the thing. I'm unable to remember the passage D.
Yeah, so what you should do is you should imagine that you are one of the key people. Like, let's say you're the chief of this island, okay? Here, we're going to give you a nice big chief's hat like that, okay? So you have this nice big chief's hat. You're the chief of the island. You're this happy guy. And you know for a fact that a lot of the men and a lot of the women on the island have the same names, okay? So they have the same names, all right? And you know that their English is pretty bad and their test scores are bad. They get banned, IELTS band score 2, okay? Not so good.
Okay.
All right, so they've got they've got bad IELTS scores. And then you can remember that they use the potato for money, right? For cash. Which is kind of interesting. And you know this because you're the chief. So the chief is buying a newspaper with a potato and they have the newspaper. Okay, so you're visualizing that. So you have to pick somebody, be somebody when you're visualizing. Okay, so practice doing that and I guarantee you'll do a lot better. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity for me.
You're very, very welcome, Sadwa. Keep it up. Keep coming back. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Bye,
you very
Sadwa.
much.
All right, let's take another volunteer here. Fwang. Are you ready to read? Fwang is one of our members who is regularly in these classes, which is fantastic. So Fwang, I want to show you that it's good that you're in these classes all the time and you're studying so hard. So Fwang, I hope you're still here, and I have a feeling you are, just because you're so studious. Means you study hard. So give me a sign. Let me know that you're here. There you are. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Fwang.
Hi, sir.
All I heard was an uh-oh. I hope you didn't spill coffee on the keyboard or something.
Yeah, I turned on my camera. Can record again, sir?
Oh, no, we're not doing video call in this one. It's just audio. We don't do camera. You know why? Fwang, only audio. So don't turn on your camera, okay? Just audio. Are you there, Fwang, or did I drop you, or did you drop me? In the meantime, here, let me call you again, Fwang, okay? Let's see, where are you? Did you disappear completely? Fwang, come back into the chat. You were doing fine. You just didn't need the camera. So, Fwang, Go back into the chat, please. Go back. I'm going to send you a message. Okay, are you back in the chat, Fuang? Are you back? Can I see you in the list? I'm searching. Okay, Fuang. Yeah, no, we can't use camera because I'm using the camera for YouTube, so that everybody can see me. And as many of you probably know, a computer or a phone can only use your camera for one piece of software at a time. It can't use it for other ones, okay? Let's try Lola, and then Fuang, come back and volunteer tomorrow, okay? Lola, are you ready? Hopefully Lola will pick up. Yeah, so just audio chat. Just don't try to turn on your cameras. Okay, just audio, no video. All right. Yes, we don't have, I think it's just too much for the internet. It doesn't handle cameras yet on multiple pieces of software. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Lola. I can. How are you doing? You're a little bit quiet, Lola. Can you move a little bit closer to the microphone and just mute YouTube? I heard you there for a moment.
Hear me?
Yep. Yeah, I heard you there. How are you doing, Lola?
I'm doing fine, thank you for asking. How about you?
I'm doing great also. Thanks for asking me back. Lola, are you ready to read?
Yes, sure.
Okay, then you've got the conclusion coming up here in just a second. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and read for us paragraph G.
Okay. The Tristan economy is built mainly upon farming. All land is owned by the community. That's to say, there is no individual land ownership. Another significant part of the economy is the exportation of crayfish and lobster, mainly to Japan and the United States. A fire that occurred in 2008 greatly affected both the domestic and export economies. Tristanians are a fiercely proud and independent people, even when given the choice to stay in England due to the volcanic eruption. Almost every resident returned to the island.
Awesome. What did you see, Lola, while you were reading that?
I see that the population of Tristan. I see the economy of Tristan that is there was exactly the volcanic eruption, and they ignored to go to the United States. I mean,
Who are you?
I think I'm just a person. So
Okay. All right. So you have to be somebody, right? You can't just be a person. It wasn't the US, it was the UK, it was England that they went to, but that's okay. So you want to be a specific person. So let's stay with the concept of you're the chieftain of the island, okay?
Okay.
So you're the chieftain of the island, and your money comes from selling lobster and crayfish to Japan and the US. But you got to run because the volcano just exploded. Uh-oh. Okay, you've got that crayfish there. You're going to go to England and eat it yourself because you got to get off the island. But once the trouble is over, then you come back to the island because home is home, and you love being on Tristan da Cunha. It's a beautiful tropical place, so you love being there. Okay. So that's kind of what you should see when you're reading this. Like, keep it really simple and be a specific. You can't just be a person. I saw a couple people at the beginning say like, I am the Tristanian people. You can't be more than one person. You can't just be an average person. You have to be somebody special. Like, a world-leading scientist, or the Tristão da Cunha, the Portuguese explorer that discovered the island. Do you know why, Lola? Why is it important to be a special person in the story that you're reading, like the hero of the story or the heroine of the story? Do you know why that's important?
I think it's more important to see the main ideas and
Yeah, yeah, it's true. So you see the pictures clearer. You have better images in your head when you're not just randomly anybody or somebody typical, but when you're unique, when you're somebody special, then it's easier to remember what you're reading and the pictures that you're seeing, the information, the little videos that are playing in your head. There's another reason. Do you know why else it's important to be a special somebody in the story that you're reading?
I guess you can imagine everything when you were the hero of the main person in the story. So
Kind
you would,
of. It's a tricky question, and you do have to really know the answer. It's a tricky question. It's because you remember information much better when your brain is excited, when it's interested. Okay? So, like, if you're the queen of Tristan da Cunha, so Lola, the queen of Tristan da Cunha, everybody worships you, and they carry you around in a big, fruit basket or something like that, right? So they carry you around and they sing songs to you, and you're the queen. Then when you're reading information and you're that unique person, your brain is like, ooh, this is exciting, this is fun, I'm going to hold this information. Okay. One of the reasons that so many people forget what they read or forget what they watch in movies is because it's not special. And when it's not special, your brain just goes, okay, out it goes. So in it comes, out it goes, into the garbage, because there's so much information for our brain today. It can't possibly try to hold everything in a strong way. So it only holds information that it thinks is interesting. So you have to make it interesting. Does that make sense?
yes, it does.
Yes. Okay. So be the queen of Tristan da Cunha. Lola, don't go anywhere yet. Let's do this. Let's do a couple of questions. Here we go. So this passage has 5 paragraphs: A, B, C, D, E. I think it's 6 paragraphs, F, G, or something. So more than. Oh, sorry, 7 paragraphs. Yeah, 7 paragraphs. And we have to figure out where this information's coming from. So the different types of money used on the island. What paragraph did that come from, Lola? When did we see that picture?
The different types of money used. Maybe B, but I didn't read paragraph B because
You didn't. You just have to visualize it, right? So it was through. Yeah.
F, you mean? G?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. I think it was F. Remember the last reader who was also the chief, and he had the potato in his hand. Remember, I even drew the potato, right? So he was kind of the same chief, and he had the potato, and was trading it. So yeah, and here it is. For example, the newspaper could be purchased for 4 big potatoes. Right? And they're saying the currency. So they don't actually use the word money. So if there's a student who's like, oh, okay, I'm going to search for the word money, I'm going to skim read for money, they won't find that word. So that's going to be a big problem. Plus, if somebody is just trying to skim read for that answer, they have to get all the way to paragraph F to maybe even find the answer. Do you see why skim reading is not effective, Lola, with this example?
Yeah.
Because if you're skim reading and you're like, okay, I'm going to search for money, and then your eyes are like, you're doing a lot of skim reading. Yeah, you'll never find it. And if you do, you just wasted 5 minutes on one question, which is way too much, right? So no, you have to read and you have to visualize, and we're doing that today. So F it is. We visualize the the chief with the potato. That was good. Okay, exam results of Tristan students. Where did that come from? Lola.
A. D, I mean.
D? Maybe. Let's check. What do you remember what we visualized? What did we visualize? And you're close, Lola. You're close. Do you remember what I drew for that one? I actually drew it.
No, I didn't see it.
I love your honesty. Like, no, I don't remember your drawing. That's why we. That's why we all have to visualize for ourselves. And really, it sounds like a childish exercise, but when you read an IELTS passage, Lola, and of course, I'm not just telling you. I'm telling everybody this. When you read an IELTS passage, draw little stick pictures. Like, draw little stick pictures to force your brain to interpret. Have you ever tried, Lola, drawing little stick pictures like me for your IELTS reading?
Yeah. I always do this.
Yeah, you tried it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Keep doing it. Okay, so you said paragraph D. There are just 8 surname among the Tristan da Cunhans. Okay, that kind of looks like maybe not. And then E, education on the island is very limited. Okay, that looks good. What I actually drew, I remember this. I don't know if anybody else remembers it, but I actually drew the IELTS test score. I said they got a band 2 on IELTS. So they have bad test scores. And so it's here in E. So you were close. Okay. Now, one of the really cool kind of benefits, advantages of visualizing is even if you don't remember exactly where it was, like you thought it was paragraph D, which was really close, you kind of remember where it is, like you're close to where it is. So if it's not D, you should read E or you should read C because you're close, okay? It's much better than just searching the whole passage at the beginning and skim reading. Okay, so you put E and then we keep going. Let's put E in here. Let's do one more. Can you read number 3 for me, Lola, when you get a second? You should see it on your screen. So read E. Or sorry, read 3. Read number 3 here.
Okay. Discussion of the original inhabitants of the island. Original inhabitants, indigenous people, natives, local residents. I know it's A. I mean, A or B. It will be.
So you think it's in the beginning? It's okay. What was the original inhabitant? So what was that? What did I draw? I actually drew that as well. At that point, I was the captain. I said to somebody, you shouldn't switch, but somebody who was reading earlier was like, I'm the person who discovered the island. So they were Tristão da Cunha, the captain of the island. And I remember seeing it there. Do you remember what I drew?
No.
Nobody remembers my drawings, Lola. It's so sad for me. That's okay. Meanwhile, Yanni in the chat is like, but we don't have paper to draw in the real exam. So just to make sure everybody understands me clearly, you're drawing pictures at home, okay? In the real official IELTS exam, you're visualizing it all. You shouldn't really be drawing. You don't have enough time to draw pictures in the real IELTS exam. The practice of drawing pictures at home lets you visualize it, okay? So anyway.
Because I didn't read it on my own, so that's why I can't imagine these things.
I understand that if somebody else is reading it, but I was hoping you'd remember my pictures, Lola. I had that awesome captain's hat like this or something with like a feather. And then there was the person. And there were 8 men and 7 women that were the original inhabitants. I drew those numbers, right? In my mind, I'm actually visualizing them. So I can see the 8 men and I can see the 7 women. Okay. But I can't draw that quickly for YouTube. So here I just did this. Now the question is, where did we see that, right? So where did Captain Tristão see those 8 men and 7 women, which was that paragraph. Some people are saying B as well, like you. I think it was a little bit later. Like Oswake says C as well. I think it was. Like, I have a feeling it was C, not B, but it's definitely in that neighborhood. So I'm going to, me personally, Lola, I would check C first, but I could be wrong. Okay. So I'm going to check for C. Okay, so according to a recent consensus, the island has a population of 263 people. So kind of sounds like I'm in the right part here in the beginning, because it has something about population, who mainly reside in Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. So, and then it says, it is thought that the residents of the island descend from just 15 ancestors. Okay, so I really feel good about it now when I read this. And it says here, which 8 were male and 7 were female. Okay, there's that picture of the men and women. So I feel really good about it now. So I'm going to put C in there. Okay.
Okay. I was wrong.
Yeah, but you're close. And even if you don't get the exact paragraph right away, as long as you're close, you're saving yourself a lot of time not skim reading and scanning all of that content. So if you're close, remember what I said. If you think it's B and then you start reading B and you're like, oh, that's not the one, then you should go to C. Now, when you're practicing at home, and let's say you're like, okay, it's B. No, it's not B, so I'm going to check C. C, it's not C. I'm going to check D. No, it's not D. And then you get all the way to F. And you're like, oh, it was F. What should you do, Lola, at that point in your study? When you're visualizing, but you're not even close. Like you think it's A or B, and then it turns out to be like F or G. What should you do? What do you think?
I'm going to read a whole story.
Yeah, exactly. It might be a good idea to read the whole passage again and change your visualization. So if you were the captain that discovered it, maybe change it, read it again, become the scientist this time, and then look at it from that perspective. It might work way better, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, it works much better. So you want to perfect the skill of visualization. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, all right. But if you're close, like if you're just one paragraph away, if you think B, but it's actually in C, or if you think C and it's actually in D, or if you think it's B, but it's actually in A, if you're close, you are on the right track. Okay, so keep doing that. Lola, thank you so much for helping me explain all those important points to all of your fellow viewers and peers today.
Thank you too.
All right, Lola, keep up the good work, and we'll talk again soon. It was nice talking with you. Bye for now.
Bye.
All right, that was Lola. Lola was awesome. Give Lola a thumbs up. Okay. Thank you for the compliment, Shen, that I'm a great artist. Some might argue that with you, but yeah, that was really great, Lola. Okay, everybody, so we're using our website, our chat interaction here to figure out the answers for the reading. And I know we still have a lot of questions to go, but I think you can, you get the right idea. And I think you can answer these questions, the remaining questions, on your own. It's not about the answers, students. It's about the technique and understanding what you're doing. If you can get that, you'll get all the answers anyway. So use our websites. Go to aehelp.com and join the premium package. So click on that big red button. It's a one-time payment. It's going to be worth it. You're going to love it. Okay, a lot of students do. And if you don't, let us know. We can help you. General IELTS, gieltshelp.com. Join the premium package. Again, click on the big red button. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're using the websites all the time. It's going to make your learning in these live classes so much more efficient and effective. So definitely check it out. And I will be back tomorrow. Now, you can answer the rest of the questions, okay? So I know some of you are thinking, oh, Adrian didn't answer all the questions, and I want to know the answers. Answer them on your own. So we didn't do 4 and 5 here, so you can do 4 and 5, okay? And we haven't done this matching one, so you can do the matching one, okay, where you match these names of these places to the correct choices here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you're like, oh, but they're going so fast, this will be on YouTube. You can check out the end of the video on YouTube for the questions a little bit later and then find the answers. And then you can do the sentence completion ones here, 12 and 13 as well. Okay, so finish it up. Send me the answers. Where? You can send me the answers to Adrian at aehelp.com. Okay, so here's my email address. You can send the answers here, or you can send them to admin at aehelp.com. Both are okay. And we'll send you back the answer key. So we'll give you the correct answer so you can check them and match them and make sure you know what's going on. And definitely, again, use the websites, visit the websites, improve your communication, improve your English, and get those great scores the first time you sit your IELTS exam so that you don't have to waste a whole bunch of money to sit a second, third time. A lot of students do that, and it's not good. That's it for this class. I will be back tomorrow with task 2 for members. That will be our members chat class this week, and I will have speaking part 3 tomorrow at this time as well. So thank you to all my volunteers. Thank you to all you beautiful people in the world. Much love to everyone, wherever you are. Have an awesome rest of your Friday and a great start to Saturday. I will see you in 24 hours. Bye.